what a year achim ebuakwa my henny, and ya achim for yin hene, a year buakwa, and what ye or hene ewo. Or say, Ubi bia or beji saha Agyapadie document na tumbiano. Wayari na adwene a cano. Menim asemi send ya usifano. Agyapadie document.
And Dr. Ren, I think say Obia or so what kind book no na who the cost here obeka say onjintum no na ebia a show ne jina nitima na se bia ono so ebia na oyare. Because there is no mind that very coherent sabi adwene in a logical sequence. Na obehu sa de we no behu we na obegina so aka say enye no kre ene bia dam na wo tim and now you are just trying to be disingenuous. So I wonder where these guys are coming from. Obakaya, many will have a conversation on this platform and I have told you point blank say e microphone muru on my way omunim nyansa, and I put that particular thing on record. I use the word said they are unintelligent criminals. There's a nipa or bokrono na onim nyansa. Na obi a onim nyansa se obewiawa owiawa bra ompa adwene to ho onwene. He doesn't check your emotions. He doesn't check whether Dr. Ren na de ya mekofa yi ebia wo ye asthmatic. Wo hia inhaler to survive. Inhaler no kromfo kwase na ofa onye ne hwe. But oba
Rainbow Radio live 92.4 FM.
Abusia Oguso wutie Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM.
Eduru ho na se wo hia
Twaso Ivan Twasmai.
Eduru ho na se wo hia that inhaler to survive wa winya. Did I ban say wu na obewu. Kromfo na onim nyansa no wa wi abefa wo inhaler a onfa nkonko ya hwe. And that is what these people are. And I what track events now from 2016 up to now the akoko so na say 4 years. Dr. Ren, I keep telling people say politics and your gospel. Why Dr. Ren Bekwa so I can say wafa eda yire. Oh, minim nyankopon ni makuma media manyame. In politics, perception is the cardinal instrument. Actually, the way a man for everything. So whenever there is this misconception, you need to clear. Wherever there is doubt, you need to distill it. Wherever people empty, what your mind was president and now ohene, ayo. Now this book has been in existence since 2016.
Oh yeah, ebuakwa man hene. Inti yen to no record.
Okay, ebuakwa man hene. This criminal document has been in circulation since 2016. At some point, they upgrade it. Now, and I don't know, you implemented every single thing in the book. Now, you do a point, just about 6 months for the government to end. Now, and then I will back to the Ghana for say documents fabricated that, and yes, be a dam and the war tima. Now, Ghana for now no mudia grow. And again, say when fans say NDC for na kwase them and more propaganda and more throw Agyapadie Book and more the Bible thing. Dr. Ren, so political opponent to me throw book in 2016 or before 2016 at the top. Now say I buy no Bible and say now say go step by step and make sure say obey this so print tema na unyansa e wo hefa. Because me Agyapadie Book no I read it somewhere around 2017 2018 e wo chebi afena na aba mono at that time I read it in chebi because I was in a car with somebody and that book came out. I used that moment to read the entire book at that time. I will say me no answer na me dem adwen be kwa de bi so no I need proof and those kind of ways. You know, I didn't give credence to. There was a time I me abrante bi if any BOT a platform or the book nuba or kind mu nsema na still and I felt mere propaganda and so I didn't pay much attention to. It has been a system, but you've gotten to a time, Dr. Ren, every single thing in that book has been predicted long ago. For instance, Senator Assembly Uhuya, say your friend is saying or Safumafuba, Eba Bedi Nimu, na Eba Diamond and Nasafoy. I read that particular thing somewhere 2018. Oh, say Emrebi Beba. Na branch and baby or no crime no yama Ghana has say. But ya start to her say obabefa. PDS the same thing. And there are several other staff. Yakamwasem. Baumia elections, Sne Alan into quiet stars ye Nina and the foundation the book wim. Ain't it with him ho she? And that will be cranny to be a watch at the end of the mawa. Why then are you implementing every single thing I womb. And people are very close to you. Among come abusiano enim how this book here. Now obi a with me through blueprint or the baby. That's a blueprint need to me get it out there. Because us a winyansa or heaven. Blueprint why you say you're the better of my you're the before mine do move. And then the financial sector you more can once a me. I can for that insurance and I buy you money on the issue. Data bank before 2016, not data bank, not a they needed finance and internet. I'm more banker say can for that ban for a moi because they needed help to survive. Few years after, it is the most profitable bank in Ghana today. Yeah, Obibet a business and never best son but we be a finance minister with access to the entire money flow in this country and some our bank, has he been able to explain to Ghanaians how data bank abaya that fabulously rich within this period?
Unim say woke about data bank. Let me put it on record and so say nipa enam no so a wenya partner. We are see we mumpa sometimes we will be no pan no adwene hom bienu miensa bio.
Yes.
Unim say nipa wo boa wo nipa eye data bank mani nya one eye partner. Ono de ne sika be share data bank mkese pa eye Dr. Papa Kosindum wono enenam ne so a we introduce Johnson Sirleaf to eye Ken Ofori Atta. And this over here, Johnson Sirleaf was also a partner to Data Bank. Obey president of Liberia, no, and Eja, and I'm so we president, ne, so we bombardian will free so, and I would jay Modian Eja Data Bank, a Jumedian with the tour. And there's angle of one more boy, Data Bank, Jan and Aswa, Nasebu, and Sako, a Yekeno for Yata, no. Can buy ya ugu womunyuma entisani ya woka Agyapadie documenti this memo no meno sa documenti through Dr. Indum ana meno me kinkan bie na me hunu se kwan on person mo faso mo de Dr. Indum bank ne kwaso and he did not believe it at the time and got some time wa banking so called clean up ya sika no ayepesi di clean bank ne sika no na bank hia no de clean bank no kura na do so say de na bank de be hia de gina mo na so to aso Ivan.
Now, Dr. Ren, so this criminal agenda. Ya throw book ye implementing it to perfection with finesse. And yes, at the blind side of the people, in the full glare of the people, when you know that this document has been out there. And a near man a woman, and you'll be there for so a buying to do a buying now there, and you can't tell me say I didn't see and Sunday actual and I make out me. I read the book somewhere 2017, 2018, and I didn't pay much attention to Niama Ne Wumno, but I say revised versions. But yes, I'm for better propaganda. I revive because I don't know why I'm an about thing. And I the woman know why that. So Obikoya revised version, you can be greater person, but it doesn't take away the fact
that about the revised version. No, Miracle boy just say we share the first version about 2017, and our current version was written in 2020, and a compilation of news and stories. Now we make key point to say there are 4 versions in total, and now I say they kept adding on to the 2017 version with incidents happening and in our news plagiarism, lifted report from official documents and articles written by third parties. According to Miracle, Agyapadie document na ankasa de enkofu bi trim na ebia NDC fo bi kra na hyase because o make one point say ofa mfonyini no a ewo Agyapadie document ni mu a wodi achimebu akwahene of repanyini mfonyini wosoro ana ase no wo de picture bi aba picture no wo mo kire se achim efo hene oforipanyini hene na nso sa picture na ewo ase no February 1st, 1896. Ezal Prempe the first. The picture would try and his return arrival at Cape Coast. And we try and omri sa picture no aba. And to one do susu say na say kufu ado mo ankasa pa na chiro sa document ya ombe yes a mistake no na the Prempe the second mfonyini aba betum.
And you see, that is even a cheap way of dodging critical issues. Nobody is debating about the book no cover. Insignificant and has no consequential impact on the discussion. And on one case, I mean, yes, say, by obiet me prove say a prempe the first be picture and as a prempe wine the day or no one can we are talking about content in the book and whether there is only a single document here 2017 way now and they laid the premise for people to build on even if that is true. So because he cannot discount the facts there, such a book, is in existence, if people will build upon it. Yeah. Dr. Randa, what building? And I just what build the Biaginaso, and the fact in the sense, some night woman above and people are talking about it. And again, I didn't wait till now. Because this book, as you buy and systematically, every single thing in it, has been implemented one way or the other. So why do you wait till that? Because my culture is a politics, unlike religion, where you say, politics is about perception. Because perception is not missing who are there. I express it to influence your opinion. You will say to influence the opinion of the other. So if you're a very smart person and you understand politics, in politics, we don't create a vacuum. I've been telling people, in politics, we don't create a vacuum. Because the very moment you create a vacuum, people will fill it with cynicism and you cannot control it. You cannot. The last time I made a catch, I said, can you be frame or complaining about say, oh no, need social media account. And a man for creative media man or more than a man for, and I'm a catch say, we not serious because at this time and age, we are a politically exposed person with influencer. You need to have an account because you have created a vacuum. People will fill it for you. That is why they are creating some for you. They are telling you, you have to create some because there must be an original. Now, and some which separate from the fake ones. But if there is no original, then you can't say
you were fake. I was young with Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM. Ivan.
Dr. Rampeboa.
Yes.
Yes. There must be the original
before there will be a fake one.
One associated fake. A creative backing, people will fail it. Yes. But what you mean?
Yet, na ansana abekoso no mame nka wo se be wusa manfo bebre friend no mame fat a year numbers into 0208 133 4646 0208 133 1134 and 077 71950 989 metimi afabe a year 4 5 calls be Ivan to asumami.
Yeah, Dr. Ren, and again, say aban ye serious say idea where cost see a figment of emotion by the opposition that the NDC John Mahama and Asa and they truly know say they have no hand in this particular document. Dr. Ren, if I'm the president, I have the state machinery at my disposal. I can call them to do anything. Has anybody over the years attempted to do any investigation to uncover, because our national security, that is what they are supposed to do. What has been the level of government commitment to ensure that nipa body for being a yes we can trace and get where the original copy came from?
Exactly.
We can do that.
Hello.
Hello, Doc.
Yes. Good evening. Yeah, Baba Rainbow Radio. So you.
Yeah, Medasi. Mamintia Ivan. Doc.
Yo.
President Akufo-Addo need Dr. Kwame Nkrumah issues. Or say he reject completely. Say one person found Ghana. And it means I reject completely. Say Nana Akufo-Addo
founded a free SHS.
Yeah, because yeah, but you see, the pettiness at him, yeah, make us say Nana Akufo-Addo is so petty. Or you're so petty, and I think I kind of applaud Ivan with all that he's saying. Look, even British government try say ebe pay Mandela to Kwame Nkrumah how much more na Akufo-Addo wa mama bobre wa ba bi CK na wo na wo ba be say Kwame Nkrumah di
what the free SHS about
free SHS I could see saying Kwame Nkrumah time in the 50s na you nya free education and when you SHS na education ankasa So if they don't understand Kwame Nkrumah time, na education and SHS. SHS ya need to say Nkrumah obi ko yellow no bi akọ green no bi akọ blue no bi akọ white no we enye. But doctor, the relevance of the let us applaud Ghanaians. Ewo how Ghana for sorry in defending Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. The man is very tall. He's a towering figure. You cannot compare him. It is a peerless. You can't compare him. Into a better Ghana for Inasi. So one would say, one John Mahama achievement to cry, you cannot even match up to John Mahama's achievement. A prisoner. Wouldn't say JB down quite. And yet the need to move over prison. Wouldn't say.
Yes, a committee a year treason.
Yes, the highest offense of the land. Obi a YSA. No betimi for me Ghana. Doctor, we now no some more person can. Na ye refi Agyapadie na say so what my topic I say discuss is all over. Ye na discuss JB down Kwame Nkrumah. But we shouldn't lose focus on the fact to say Nkrofo no area Agyapadie. That is the most relevant thing we should be discussing now. And now ye can say
Agyapadie no crowd was say fabricated. More fabricated.
Doctor, you see where Nana Ivan Ekan say omu akronfo, but unfortunately omu ignorant thieves. Because look, doctor,
no we anti omu akronfo, no we na president we
na sebi na doctor anti de na yet abrabona ye born say you go into the future na me boa say wo bobra wo si wo chena nti ananya sa na ti
sa pepepe
enti say yenya obi yemfa no, let us assume that admit him say NDC for natural just as he is saying na say yenya NDC for to mutual document emma the future na say future no wo ba be implement ya na sabi you don't need to be on that seat. Because not just a NDC for our foresight, our vision, our bibia, and they are holy prophets because they can predict and they can come through. Nyankopon aye den I ordain your mama man. And they most probably a prophet in the meeting as well.
Yeah, that's a face.
There are prophets. Prophet omutimi a prophesy na say be media. And they most probably say, then what are you doing? Because we work for the future. Yeah, bibia for mind. Yeah, bibia for that thing or china. Na wo enekura unhu so enura unhu so na ochena so sebi nsem na wudi e na yama prophet nbra nti doctor ma yen lose focus on the fact say Agyapadie no e yade a omo aye omo edan mu omo atro omo mpaso e na omo de bebu oman no mumay na yem bohu de go te say na wo ne Ivan na yen me bom abaso for bringing it out for Ghanaians to see na we a signal to yenua no mo ye MP before mu ti krom ha. For the net Ghana Agyapadie no minjini sa wo ka ho wo ti a wo ye for mo ne ba
sisi e kura de ya ton Achimota forest ni bi kura de ama estate developer
yes say it is possible
Sir John Tombi ana obi beka say Sir John de ne kura de isa ye ntwen
Sir John de sama ka me Sir John wo ko ne kroma ade e fa yo Sir John adaka ni funadaka ni ku
das ye fezi ada ye nko America ne fa ayeko no das ye Joe be ha dwene wo si Sir John ni kroma de e fe pa amamfo ye nko aye phone line so ye hunu se na aye America for frɛ anyway wo frɛ ye no betimi assign my drop call no mo fa nche me ye hwɛ ne ye nkoso na all right. Anyway, we go so awutie Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM. I need the messages na bano. Ma me morning 10 na menkin kind messages ni bi ewo ahase. We every adjust Dr. Ren, thank you so much with Ivan for this great education. Some of these things we were never taught in school. I am hearing for the first time a man called Jacob Wilson say, and I just researched him. Oh, Dr. Ren, such a great person, and yet Ghanaians don't talk about Jacob Wilson say, who is going to tell our stories, and that is the reason why I keep listening to Rainbow Radio. When so every Francis was saying indeed Kwame Nkrumah is the founder. Yes, we are saying, we are not saying that it is only Kwame Nkrumah that led to the independence, but in the end it was Kwame Nkrumah's time that the true independence was achieved. President Akufo-Addo should spare us all this long talk. one so the other by no. I mean, kind Camden, way every Akwesiwo. Was it Dr. Ren? Yesterday I didn't see you at Akwesi Day. It was fun, and greetings to all Ghanaians that came. Indeed, Ghana, Yawadi Oye, and also Edia Wade Eba, Urabu says, as you commissioner wa free woman, a studio line, so me press a year, me number of friends, so I cannot take them a year call. No, yen call a year. Ajoaho, or say Dr. Ren. Yes, today's a year program is a whole lecture. One also the what they buy, I mean, reading some of the comment your Facebook, Uncle Mark, has say, what you say, it beggars belief to understand how black man thinks when the facts and evidence are there. Feely to see, yet the black man, because we are gullible, we will remain here forever. And yet, black man, you're gullible. Yeah, Uncle Mark, we are gullible. We are gullible. Intimacy, ebinimo. Otiaba TV, all the way in the United States of America, I say they are trying very hard to concoct a strategy to stop people from getting the truth. But no matter what, the Ghanaians are not a potato heads. Yes, no. Henry Edwini was a Agyapadie document is real. We are not a pinheads. Frank Ezo, Blay, Quadia, Mediama, one so a dear, what they buy, I don't know what now, one no, the enemy, making kind of see, even human rights is limited to Rwanda, yet the citizens really want him to be a president now and in the future. He won election by 99% after our sergeant for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown. What all did they do to develop Ghana? One of the no was it we recognize recognize the fact that people fought for Ghana's independence, and not him or Sergeant alone, but he is the leader and the social architect of Ghana's independence in the sub-Saharan, whilst others' efforts were seriously written and sabotaging him against the British not to hand over the country. And also Eddie Odebayo. Godfred Kwabnadi Ewuo will say, this is too raw, Ivan. You are expressing your opinion based on a source. Whether the source are true or not is a subject to a third-party assessment. Kabinadi will at the end one so at the buy. You know, I Pangasa was it this feels like a history class lectures. A year Black Mokobi, a year Kwame Nkrumah Nana, the ne papa, Kwame Nkrumah who taught this seminar was say what assets, namely nature's one of the Kwame Nkrumah, the winning asset to be and go be anka Black Mokobi Nkunyebi, Nankon so passy be the mammy, and then so Black Mokobi winning here, one only the and the modern boy, Wabo, UK. What to turn a Agyapadie with UK, Kwame Nkrumah and Jack Kubu, Empo and Farmer. Sorry for my brief silence, health issues, bother. I will get in touch, but one also at the way, Ora Ayete, Sasreku, one also the buy, Jonas, a year clote. Doctor, this should remind everyone that a good name is better than riches. Nkrumah deeds are still holding him relevant. Ivan, a kind. Ivan, Yantuaswe, na Sima, enumpe, na Bonetofa, Kwame Nkrumah, Agyapadie na Kwame Nkrumah na ewia o message how the woman Ghana for wo mutie wo nyina maba wonu a moye nurses fo ne doctor fo no a mo feel Ivan no maka kire mo mama mfa ntenche because me hunu say na nze mo dey fa touchline no dey fa emfa jise bu be hunu me Dr. Ren maka jo say abrante ne de me nhwe ma ne ware oba bia keke because you dey woni trim no emu edu a protect ne nya wo ba papa e de manual Ivan 5 minutes.
Dr. Ren.
Yes.
I think that so Agyapadie Book, very serious. And mama yamushime why Ghana na yejina baby yejina. Charles said some people sat down, they planned and deliberately decided said they'll plunge this country because if they don't do that, they don't know when or may have the opportunity to come back to power again. That is how this desperation and the level of where Ubi and Sawum. And my culture said the corruption, the rot, and the theft going on in this government, normally started from the down and I spread it to the top. But unfortunately, this one is coming from the top way down. And whenever such things started from the top, and make it easy for everybody to get involved. Because first nipa na otisro no or lose the moral conviction, the moral wherewithal to whip other people in line because panyin to throw we about Brabonia. How dare you caution obi or down say oh yeah baby. And I think that at this point in time, no Ghana for me, Maka, we MPP, we NDC, it doesn't matter. It is the future of this particular country that is on the line, and we must do everything to secure. Because near my ekosi, Agyapadie more pre, yeah, in the name of MPP. No, and run political platforms, business make catch it, a binum say, Yeti Kruma. You can't NDC, MPP, NDC since independence since 1992. Near man when we talk about the NDC and the MPP politics, Dr. Ren, there are certain levels you bet me a jano, you befa Kufuor, you befa Rollins, you befa Mahama, you befa Tamils, and what level you bet me a jano. Because when you talk about the negatives, we can also get certain gains. I become one sema. Now, Sheba be a yejine, now you're near contemporaries, I use at least. Gains in the womb, down also be womb kakra. But whenever you flip in these people into the picture, the whole discussion is changing. Because their motives, their motive, modus operandi, the mentality, and the modern politics in our dying. And did I make catch be say, it is a basa, what a mini bus. What the man for say, was a person who could sorry, move me behind now the court, sa bas in Ubi. And I could find my behind, promising the owner say, yeah, they could find the park in not to know is as I had the bus in the Korean punching. And I quite a bus is no barrier. And then I find a frat driver. So the MPP political vehicle now could forward by out the bell when elections, you know. And these people are using the same car, no, at the F Morgan punching, a cotton. So we need to see the difference. So that is why we are MPP near as a political as a person. Don't feel shy. It is your party. Party no dignity because party no could afford the above papa be in the past. I am Krofuku be na nebusian phobia by party no na ya party no fi. And you have the duty to rise to the occasion and save your party. The reason why some of the guys in our better or say na me MPP ni but MPP way there. Obviously, me MPP ni but MPP
when you want to say down for your Captain Smart to cry no cry.
Yes, Captain Smart can be. Even Sir Kevin Taylor at some point he was part of the MPP, and there are several people.
Na me cry so na me
can. Yes. So you see, let us not get overly emotional. You cannot be more Catholic than the Pope because Pope no Catholic church na ene or power bet me atum so obi ankwa sorry. You can't be more Catholic than the Pope. Party, no, a party. The last time I was telling you is growing up, you know what we kept hearing. They say a party and in the four way. But can we say the same thing? When near my more your party, you know, as I said, be Krabi or Munim Yansan or Moti Biasin or Modi or Mind or Modi Toy Diagro. Akufo-Addo and his cohort are playing with Ghana like Kramugu Biasia or Mu used to toy Diagro. They don't attach any seriousness to this country. They don't care about the people. All they care about is how to plunder this country dry. And that's exactly what they are doing. And we cannot be part of it. That is why some people have devoted their time to stop them. And with your friend is saying, Kwame Nkrumah story, now I keep telling people, say, it is not about how much money I will be. Dr. Ren, your friend says, Sika, I'll be Pebia, Ubenya Sika, I'll be Bill Gates, and I'll be Elon Musk. You can't. Jessica, yeah, pretty no, who may never chance uncle for way. But at least there is something remarkable that we can do. And even when you are not there, you will still be relevant in the hearts and in the minds of people. And that's exactly what Nkrumah did. And Nkrumah, what I can do, we never estate your tin or Tamane, young Crowfoy, and Sasia Dr. Sir John Dia well a man bushing for no way Yahweh. Nina were left behind by the same person. He could have owned it to his and Nkrumah bet me akon zema no akwase send a bushing for and na ma me no abegu
me sin na na hwe me ka ho me bra so hwe me ye ni kobu
ebianka enne Kwame Nkrumah na enkotena UK because enkobe proud to live here because ne papa anasa ne nana energy or mind is or he could have decided say Agyapadie no better man or fashion and nana and the crew for, but he never did that. He never. he saw that the goal where Ghana is heading towards bigger than him as an individual. And what you can do is to play your part and leave the rest to posterity to judge you. But these people have decided they will not leave anything to posterity. They will own everything. And even own posterity. The desperation is quite apparent. And I can't know the weather away when you get out of power. Within ba man for team at a man for bail because Obia cry and who some fast obium. And isn't it interesting, say the most useless president in our political history and or not a seeking to change the political history of this country. Nipana or nona binds one me bobra papa bia in the history of this country. Open president, I'll bet me say, oh yeah, the most useless, not as a person, but as a president. Akufo-Addo. And today he has the audacity to take the platform and tell people, say, or changing the political history of this particular country, lecturing Ghanaians, professors and doctors. Man for Mumaya political science, a history, or not all lecture people how Ghana gaining independence. It's funny. But so we need to rise in one accord and say enough of this nonsense. The mere factor we are part of the party, doesn't mean that we need team. And when something is going wrong, you need to say belong to whichever political party you want. But if things are going wrong, be bold enough and say that is the only way we can save this country. And you think you are certain afar, maybe however how far you go, your heart is still here. Yourself from here, when you have obviously the course, you're part of it. And you will forever be part of it. So don't sit somewhere and say, "Me, you're part of it." Obikura kasa, I say, "Mo Ghana, no Ghana, na me mama there, and I me papa there." Dr. Ren, eventually everybody goes home. Everybody goes home unless you can decide that there, baby. In the end, everybody goes home. So we need to do things right and make sure, say, we are part of the Ghanaian conversation, we are part of the story, and we do all that we can to change this nasty political trajectory agency. I am built a better in a good story. Say, I am benefitia. Generation yet unborn will come and say, me wafa sene me nananom ekopa. They fought a good fight, and it's because of Niama Moye Maya economically, financially independent. So me mentally savvy and independent. Meet me, I dictate my affairs. But as we power stars here now, Chale, you don't have time to think about independence in an economic way because abraboni ina your brain or whatever. We can't continue on this particular line. A tira the drain over Kruma the swan nema. All because of the Kaya Tokumasi, a Mayua in their prime age, you expect to say Sebi. Nka Achadia made the man no Tama so say dead ye. Obi ni ho hana say that talent you or sonema and the museum koba crash in the cheek. A triben or they bedroom be made bobra. And these are the people we need their energy, their knowledge, their skill to develop this country. But look at where they now belong to the other side of life because some people have decided to live luxurious life at their expense. For how long are we going to continue on this tangent? I think we need to be part of this change, drive this change, and make it possible, and make sure say Obia wafa pan money so didn't serve Bogana Sikambiano will be held responsible and accountable to answer for their crimes. That is the only way. It doesn't matter how far you go, you're part of it. And we all have a role collectively, we need to. And we need to work together to ensure, say, we liberate this country once again.
Ivan, you better sipa na ja bejiri senyame adum so next week is your beshia. Thank you so much.
Sure.
That's
You're welcome, brother.
Thank you so much. My member 1 or 2